Years ago, when Johnny and I wrote RISE, a Reformer's Handbook for the Seven Mountains, we planned on one day having a similar version for the younger generation. Now, I am excited to announce that we now have a high school level RISE curriculum, Students on the Rise. Of course, RISE stands for Reformers Influencing Society Every Day. Now, can you imagine how life-changing it could be for a student to understand, one, that they have a purpose in life, two, that God cares about what they grow up to be and do, and that three, they can actually change the world while doing what they're passionate about. I mean, can you imagine the next generation, before they graduate high school and enter the next phase of life or college, knowing how God uniquely wired them for something important, heading into life with clarity, knowing who they are. Now, before I lose some of you, you may think, I don't have any teens, but maybe you know a family who does, or maybe you have a connection to a Christian educator or a youth pastor. Our goal is to get this curriculum into homeschool families, co-ops, Christian schools, youth groups, basically any setting where teens are being educated. Let me tell you a little bit about the curriculum itself. I partnered with a friend and professional Christian educator with over 2 decades of experience in education, Dr. Ivy Bonk. We wanted to create a robust, biblically based academic experience for 10th through 12th grade students that could be used as Bible curriculum. Although we wrote this for Christians and with the goal of launching teens into their life calling and purpose, we also made sure to lay a strong foundation, introducing them to what it means to have a relationship with God, the Father, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, helping them understand many spiritual concepts in a practical way, such as the kingdom, that otherwise may just feel like something ethereal and not applicable to their everyday world. And finally, giving them an in-depth perspective of what we know as the 7 mountains of culture: media, economy, government, arts and entertainment, religion, education, and family. We address each of these mountains in this color textbook, hardback, and we address them in a way that allows the students to discover for themselves what talents and interests that they already have that may point towards their purpose and calling. We published both a hardback textbook that includes the facilitator's guide as well as an accompanying workbook. There are 2 options according to whether the student is junior level or senior level. That would be 10th and 11th or 11th and 12th grade. We know that each student is unique, so we wanted to give you options for the level that they would be comfortable working with. The workbook options are called RISE Activation Journals because each day's lesson in the textbook aligns with questions in the activation journal with room for the students to write in their responses. This can be used by individuals or in a group setting with even more opportunities for discussion. In the textbook, Students on the Rise curriculum, we have a simple format with 90 lessons, including a brief reading, several anchor scripture verses, and affirmation statements that speak to their identity. With Dr. Ivy's expertise, we were able to not only compile these one-of-a-kind purpose-driven lessons, but utilize a specific learning style called inquiry-based learning that teaches students to think critically. This is different than most curriculum in that it doesn't just tell the students facts to memorize, but rather instructs while leading them through questions and thoughtful responses or journaling through a discovery process of their own. So the lessons on the 7 mountains don't simply tell them the areas of culture they can uniquely serve in. The lessons hold their attention while giving them a nuanced understanding of what it actually looks like as followers of Jesus to show up in the midst of broken systems in our world and through a heart to serve, bring practical, real-life solutions that demonstrate our God who loves the world and has a redemption plan not just for our souls, but for everything that affects our nations. So check the link for options to order copies individually, or if you want bulk pricing, you can email contact@restore7.org. I encourage you to consider purchasing both the textbook and a workbook for any students that you personally know, maybe for use as a private devotional, or for any high school homeschool parent, or maybe you know a Christian educator or a youth pastor. Help us get this incredible new resource into the hands of this next generation for such a time as this.